Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the United Talks podcast. And today we're going to be talking about the key takeaways from Ruben Amorim's pre-match press conference for the Nottingham Forest Premier League clash. Now it's our first game back after about 16 days away, international break, and then the FA Cup quarterfinals over the weekend. And the game kicks off on Tuesday. And Manchester United head coach Ruben Amorim addressed the media ahead of the crucial Premier League clash against third placed Nottingham Forest, providing updates on player fitness as well as loan players' performances and team ambitions for the final stretch of the season. I mean, obviously, it's really amazing to find that there's just 2 months left of the season, the full April and the full May. And then depending on how we progress with the Europa League, there's also maybe towards the end of May will be the Europa League. So here is a comprehensive breakdown of the talking points of the press conference, the pre-match press conference. First and foremost, it's the injury updates and returning players. So basically, Amorim provided a positive update on several key players nearing returns. Luke Shaw, he says, back in partial team training, and he specifically said, in my exact words, that he's doing drills with the team, but not yet match ready. Another one, Mason Mount, fit enough for bench duty after recently returning, and he was on the bench at the last game. And the next one on that list is Mainoo, nearing a return but won't feature against Forest, according to Ruben Amorim. And then there is Harry Maguire and Leone, both are available for selection. On Ayden Heaven's injury, the injury was not serious as expected and is back and will potentially be back to play this season. And then Lisandro Martinez still sidelined till January next year. So no imminent return. So the gradual return of defensive options like Luke Shaw, Maguire, and Leone comes at a crucial time as United face a congested schedule. I mean, Mason Mount's availability adds to the midfield depth, which eventually, with the midfield depth, it eventually makes it easier for Ruben Amorim to have an extra striker option, and also which meant that Chido Obi would not feature in this game because he would also be available to play at the Aston Villa FA Youth Cup semi-final, and it is currently ongoing. And Man United, just came from a goal down to make it 1-1. The goal scored by James Scanlon. So James Scanlon scored the goal. And yeah, so Mount's availability adds a bit of depth, and it means that we don't necessarily need to invite as many youth players. But then, yeah, I think there is I think James Scanlon. I think maybe Harry Amas didn't travel didn't feature. He's not featuring in this FA Youth Cup, so it is what it is. So Amorim is actually wisely managing the minutes after long absences. So Mason Mount might not feature for long in this one. The next point in the press conference is loan players and their performances. Now, when asked about Marcus Rashford's brace for Aston Villa and Anthony's form at Real Betis, he says everybody performs well on loan, and it's good news for our club. Everybody that performs well on loan is good news for our club. He maintained focus on current squad, and acknowledge the loan success, basically stating that, the players are not his players now. They're with other teams and they're playing and performing with other teams. So the focus is on Manchester United at the minute. So basically, Amorim's diplomatic response keeps options open for summer decisions while avoiding distractions from immediate tasks. His stance suggests the loan performances will gradually factor into planning. Now, he was asked specifically about Marcus Rashford, who stated that he was playing well, he's strong and in his best form, and all of that. And he said, Marcus Rashford is not my player. I am mainly focused on my players now. The question is now be like, okay, so why are they asking? I know they should have specifically asked for loan players instead of saying, oh, Marcus Rashford said this, Marcus Rashford said that, and all of that. So yeah, it is what it is. Next one is the growing confidence of the squad now, or the growing confidence in the squad. Now, basically, Amorim noted that the team has an improved morale. The energy is different. He said the players are more confident. He also said that he acknowledged the need to maintain momentum through results. He also emphasized the continuous improvement despite recent wins. And the manager is actually recognizing the psychological factors in United's mini spell, basically mini revival, but remains grounded. He says results could change anything, and he understands that the Premier League momentum can shift quickly. And his balanced perspective suggests good man management. He stated specifically that yes, I know that we're on good form and we have good momentum, but we basically results could basically change anything. So we should just keep our powders dry and expect for the and prepare for the best, right? So, with regards to the upcoming fixture congestions and all of that, Ruben Amorim stated basically with Forest, Man City, Lyon two times, and Newcastle looming that the schedule was really exciting despite the challenges. And he highlighted the importance of squad rotation as well, and was grateful that players are back now. Then he also noted that the different opponents require different characteristics and tactical flexibility. So that is what he said, basically. Then Amarim's focus on rotation as well as adaptability shows um, strategic planning for this decisive period. His positive framing, you stating that it is exciting, helps maintain good motivation through a tough run that is incoming. And then there's also the next point of the press conference around the question on Nuno Espirito Santo. He had respect for Nuno Espirito Santo and his work and the work he has done in Portugal, as well as coaching in Wolves, and also talked about his start at Tottenham Hotspurs and how it went. Now he said, "Oh, I'm not surprised. I mean, by their improvement under Nuno Espirito Santo, and Nuno Espirito Santo is a top manager." He also praised the energy in Forest and the mobility in the squad, and he dismissed fatigue as an advantage, despite Forest playing 120 minutes in the uh, FA Cup recently. He said specifically that, oh, they won the game and that's good energy. He said it's good to balance both. Man United haven't played in 16 days and we had a momentum before we went. And then he also stated that, okay, that Nuno Espirito Santo could say, okay, that he has basically had enough time, to welcome the players back. But then he also stated that with that, it's easier to just say, oh, that they should have had more time to prepare for the game than just basically um, complaining about how congested the schedule is. Now, one thing I can say for a fact is I believe that having the 120 minutes for Forest is also an advantage and also a disadvantage. If you look at it from an advantage perspective, it means they've got their rhythm back. They're already playing. They have one more game under their belt, so they're all really oiled up, despite coming back from an international break. And then disadvantage is fatigue. They might get tired. I mean, that's what the journalist was questioning with regards to that. Like, okay, could they be fatigue? Could that be an advantage for Man United and all of that? And then with that, he also stated that, okay, now with for the advantage for Man United is we have had enough time to rest and plan and prepare for the game, and that's about 16 days or 2 weeks and 2 days. Now, it is very important that we also, keep our powder dry, know that we need to be very oiled up like an oiled machine in preparation for that game. So that's basically my thought and my analysis on that. So it shows that Ruben Amorim has respect for the opponent and avoided, bulletin board material He refused to cite fatigue factors, keeping pressure on his own team to perform. And that's exactly what I just said. The most important thing is that the pressure is on us as Man United, as a team, to perform. And then with regards to targets, he was asked questions about the targets for the team, seeing as or for the season, seeing as we're 13th on the league table or the league standings. And then when pressed on the objectives, he avoided specific position targets. He said, "We are looking up." That's what Ruben Amorim said. We are looking up, and he also said that we don't know the position on the table where we'll be at the end of the season, but he believes that we want to win games. That's what he said. We want to win games. So he avoided specific position targets because we don't have specific position targets. He also stated that he emphasized that we're looking up and there's continuous improvement. And he also focused on winning games rather than table watching, right? He says we are looking up, but we want to win games. The pragmatic approach reduces external pressure while maintaining basically high standards. Amorim understands United's position requires game by game focus. That's what basically he said, rather than grand declarations. So it is what it is, and I know that these guys want to basically build something out of it. I mean, the journalists. So the key quotes that define this presser, basically, if we're going to talk about it, is on squad confidence. I mean, he said we're in a different moment and more confident and ready for the final 2 months. And then on loans, he said everybody that performs well on loan is good news for our club. And it's good. It could be good news on different fronts, including the fact that it could be good news from the perspective of good sale and good profit and all of that. It could also be good news from the perspective of maybe the players could come back and make their return, or the players could come back and be sold. So those are the points that he was trying to make. And then on fixtures, he said it's a very good moment in our season and the team is prepared. And then on the opponent, he said when you see his team play, speaking of Nottingham Forest, when you see his team play, you can see the energy, and I'm not surprised. And obviously, with tactical outlook for Forest, we expect that Ruben Amorim will rotate carefully with Manchester City looming, and he says he will utilize returning defenders to draw up the back line and possibly give Mount limited minutes and adjust the system to counter Forest's energetic press. Now, basically, Amorim is already finding his footing, and to conclude all of this, Amorim's measured optimism reflects a coach who has stabilized after a rocky start. He has managed injury crisis pragmatically. He has maintained focus and external noise, and he has developed clear plans for different competition demands. So Ruben Amorim has, done well for himself and proven, that he can actually do well. And Forest's match begins a defining 10-day period that could shape United's season and Amorim's tenure as a whole. His calm demeanor and focused persona suggests that he's ready for the challenge. So there's a whole lot that we can build from this, and there's a whole lot that we can take from all of this and say, you know what? Ruben Amorim is already beginning to find his feet on all of this, and we can, remain positive and build from it. So let me know your thoughts and feelings about all of this. Let me know your thoughts and feelings about Ruben Amorim's quotes and comments, and so we can have conversations in the community. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Aston Villa at the FA Youth Cup, just an update. At the FA Youth Cup semi-final, Aston Villa just missed a penalty, so it's still 1-1, 39 minutes. So let me know your thoughts and feelings about everything. I'll now see you on the next one. The next one will be the match preview for the Forest game. Take care, goodbye, and God bless, and I'll see you on the next one.